너 배신이 얼마나 뼈아픈 건지 느껴봐야지.
아씨, 내 전화를 씹어? 나 혼자 독박 쓰라.
오늘 촬영장에서 그따위 일이 발생한
우리 그냥 계약 해지할래요?
돈
거야 뭐야?
가지 마요. 가지 마.
것에 대해 심히 유감입니다.
난 지금 내 생애 가장 이기적인 행동을 할 거예요. 그래도 한 번만 눈 감아줄래요?
Welcome back to Kdramas Decoded, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode of your favorite K-drama. Episode 7 picks up right where the previous episode left off. After finally growing closer, it looked like Yoon Chwan and Jaehyun had found a way to move forward together. Their unusual emotional connection no longer felt like a burden, and for the first time in a long while, there was hope that both of them could finally leave the past behind. But while Jaehyun focuses on rebuilding her career, Yoon Chwan is still carrying another responsibility on his shoulders. Ever since the bullying accusations destroyed Jaehyun's reputation, he's been determined to uncover the truth. Deep down, he refuses to believe everything happened by chance, and with Mijeong remaining out of sight, he's convinced someone else is pulling the strings behind the scenes. Early in the episode, that investigation takes another step forward when Yoon Chwan meets with Do-hun. During their conversation, he learns that the tabloid reporter responsible for much of the damaging coverage has connections that immediately raise suspicion. The information suggests the articles attacking Jaehyun may not have been written independently at all, but could have been influenced by someone with far more power. It's an important clue, but unfortunately it's still only a clue. Although Yoon Chwan begins to suspect who could be responsible, he still doesn't have enough evidence to prove anything. Every answer seems to create even more questions, and without solid proof, all he can do is continue digging for the truth while trying to protect Jaehyun from any further damage. At the same time, Jaehyun has finally started seeing small signs that her career isn't completely over. After everything she endured because of the scandal, she's beginning to regain some confidence. The opportunity she received at the end of the previous episode gives her hope that she might actually be able to return to acting, and with Yoon Chwan standing beside her, it finally feels like she's no longer facing everything alone. The relationship between the two of them has also changed dramatically since the beginning of the drama. When they first met, Jaehyun struggled to express even the simplest emotions, while Yoon Chwan constantly carried the emotional weight of everyone around him. Now they've reached a point where they genuinely understand each other better than anyone else. Instead of fighting against their strange emotional connection, they've slowly learned to accept it as part of their lives. For the first time in a long time, both of them seem genuinely happy. Which is exactly why what happens next is so heartbreaking. Without any warning whatsoever, Yoon Chwan suddenly disappears. There isn't a phone call. There isn't a text message. He doesn't explain where he's going or when he'll be back. He simply vanishes, leaving Jaehyun completely blindsided. At first, she can't understand what's happened. After everything they've shared together, disappearing without a single word feels completely unlike him. She doesn't know whether something terrible has happened, whether he's trying to protect her, or whether he's chosen to walk away altogether. Not knowing the answer becomes almost worse than the disappearance itself. Desperate to find him, Jaehyun begins searching for anyone who might know where he is. Her first stop is Yoon Chwan's older sister, Song Chwan. The conversation is uncomfortable from the very beginning. Throughout the series, Song Chwan has never truly accepted Jaehyun being part of her brother's life. She's always worried about Yoon Chwan and carries her own emotional scars from the past, making it difficult for her to trust anyone so easily. Hoping she'll finally get some answers, Jaehyun asks directly where Yoon Chwan has gone and why he suddenly left. But the meeting doesn't give her the closure she desperately wants. Whether Song Chwan genuinely doesn't know where her brother is or simply isn't prepared to reveal the truth, Jaehyun leaves feeling just as lost as before. Instead of finding answers, she's left carrying even more uncertainty. Running out of places to look, Jaehyun eventually finds herself outside Yoon Chwan's home. It's here that the episode slows down and focuses entirely on her emotions. With nobody around to comfort her and no cameras watching, every feeling she's been trying to hold back finally comes pouring out. She breaks down completely as memories of the time they spent together replay in her mind. All the moments that had made her believe things were finally getting better suddenly become painful reminders of everything she's just lost. The scene also shows just how much Jayan has changed since episode 1. At the beginning of the drama, she struggled to connect with her own emotions and often depended on Yoon Chwan's unique ability to help her understand what she was feeling. Now, the tears she's crying are entirely her own. There's no performance, no pretending, and no borrowed emotions. For perhaps the first time, she's allowing herself to feel every bit of the heartbreak she's been trying to ignore. Watching from a distance, Song Chwan witnesses Jayan's pain for herself. Seeing someone grieve so sincerely begins to challenge everything she believed about Jayan. Although she doesn't suddenly become supportive overnight, this moment clearly starts to soften her opinion. For the first time, she begins to realize just how deeply Jayan truly cares about her brother. As the episode moves toward its conclusion, the audience is finally given a better understanding of Yoon Chwan's decision. His disappearance wasn't a careless act, and it wasn't because he stopped caring about Jayan. Instead, he's acting under the belief that distancing himself is the only way to protect her. Burdened by guilt over the past, and convinced that staying by her side will only bring her more pain, Yoon Chwan chooses to carry that burden alone, even if it means breaking both of their hearts in the process. It's a decision that perfectly reflects one of the drama's biggest themes. Both Yoon Chwan and Jayan have spent the entire series blaming themselves for things that were often outside their control. Rather than allowing someone else to share their pain, they constantly choose to suffer in silence, believing sacrifice is the only way to protect the people they love. By the end of episode 7, Jayan is left devastated. Yoon Chwan remains missing, and the mystery surrounding the people responsible for destroying Jayan's reputation is still far from solved. With emotions running higher than ever and so many questions still unanswered, the episode leaves viewers with an emotional cliffhanger heading into the finale, where the truth behind the scandal and the future of Yoon Chwan and Jayan's relationship will finally be put to the ultimate test.